So how can we create a culture of learning excellence? There are three key elements to make that happen. Number one, learning needs to be contextual. What I mean by contextual is people have got to see that there is value in doing that. It should help them either personally or professionally go in a different path, grow as an individual, grow as a professional when it is added to the set of skills or repertoires that they already have. Number two, learning needs to be bite-sized. In today's day and age, where attention span is equivalent to watching one Instagram reel, sometimes what helps best is to provide learning in bite-sized pieces so that people can absorb small pieces, learn from it, experience it, look at how it's being implemented, and move on. Third, it's got to have the support of senior leadership. And what I mean by that is leaders need to genuinely believe that learning is a key tool in their repertoire that can actually make an impact. In today's day and age when everyone has literally equal access to technology, similar access to capital, information is no longer king. What really makes the difference is the ability, the skills, and the attitudes of your people. Learning excellence, therefore, is not an intervention. It's not something that you do once in a while. It's a journey that every organization undertakes as part of its DNA. In effect, it really becomes part of your culture. That is truly what drives learning excellence in best-in-class organizations. The current challenges in the L&D landscape essentially are around the fact that learning is treated now as a commodity, which means that there is something that's available and we desperately move down the path of trying to make one size fits all. If we were to take the three approaches that we just talked about, which is to make learning bite-sized, to make it contextual, and to make it relevant by support of leadership in the organization, very often the L&D landscape changes from what's in it for me to, hey, what am I missing if I don't get it? So I do believe that if we do take these approaches towards learning and development, it will definitely solve some of the challenges that we currently face on the L&D landscape.
Before we move on to what are the three strategies that one should look at, I would want to take a step back and talk about the kind of workforce and employment status that we work in. With the rapid growing economy and pace of employment, upskilling continues to be at the forefront for any company or an HR professional, especially when we are working with a multi-generational workforce and of course a rapidly changing knowledge base. The shift that we say for a digital knowledge is based on an economy where upskilling becomes of primary importance, and this adaptable workforce also becomes very, very crucial. However, having said that, the L&D leaders or people who will prepare the workforce for these skills can't do it alone. It takes two to tango, and the entire workforce needs to come together. It is very important to understand the concept behind why the area of L&D is important. First and foremost, let's all choose to agree that L&D needs to be a continuous learning process. It cannot be a one-time effort, because unless and until it's a continuous process, we will not reap the benefits at an individual level and neither at a company level. The second most important part when we are strategizing our L&D function is to look at how do I align my company's business goals to an individual employee's aspirations and interests. Third, while we engage with the L&D team or the department within the organization, it is also important to strategize and work along with a lot of mentors, coaches, and look at design thinking as an option as well. One more vital part while looking and strategizing around L&D is to look at within the organization whether each of the employees have their OKRs or their competencies mapped. This also helps a long way to identify training needs and to work towards understanding the lacuna within the employee and aligning them with the business goals.
Hello everyone, my name is Raj. I'm the head HR at Advantage Lab. To bridge three critical gaps in any learning excellence organization, what you should do is to start with. The first thing is, in today's world, when hybrids are ruling everywhere, even if a lot of organizations have said people come back, but still hybrids are there to stay, and we've accepted that as a reality. It's very important to accept the fact that learning also has to be modular and bite size. And a very essential element then come into place. Learning has to be curated. What I mean by that, that means my time, my choice, my skills, my device, and anywhere learning. It works wonders. Bite-sized learning helps you grasp better and makes your organization continuous learning and even adapt to those people who are not very learning prone. So to begin with, I would say curated learning is the first thing. The second thing is that whenever it comes to learning, it has to be driven by a purpose. The purpose can be skilling, the purpose can be the purpose of the organization which exists for a particular cause, the purpose can be you bringing some kind of a passion that you have for, whether it may be technology, it may be a function, domain, or whatever it is. So if there is a purpose in learning, you would often find learning to be very, very targeted, high level of engagement is achieved, and people excel in that domain. Third and last, most important, for which Advantage Club exists, is very, very important, which is once a learning is done, it has to be rewarded. Because if you do not reward the learning, it does not get fortified. People feel that a skill is acquired and a skill is lost. So it's very, very essential that you need to recognize and reward learning for your people who have acquired it. And often it's said, wisdom is not a product of schooling or what you learn at work, but it's a continuous starvation, it's a continuous achievement, it's a continuous hunt. It's like a mirage for learning time and again in life and achieving excellence. So that's what I believe. These are the top 3 strategies.